Hello, 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 everyone. I know it's kind of late right now on the East Coast, and it's about 9 o'clock on the West Coast, but I definitely had to tune in tonight. Um, it has been crazy, crazy, crazy over the last few days. Talking with my grandmaster, and talking with some other people, and man, it's just been crazy. But hey, so tonight what I'm gonna get into is the workings, or I'm gonna talk about the Order of the Eastern Star. One grand lodge and one grand chapter in particular. Greetings, greetings, brother Lewis. Pleasure to have you aboard. Um, I'm going to talk about the Order of the Eastern Star. I'm going to talk about my sister, uh, the sister member of the Garden Eden Grand Chapter. I love that Grand Chapter. That's a Grand Chapter. So I'm going to talk about their foundation, and I'm going to talk about those sisters who really laid the groundwork for that organization. What's up, brother Montgomery? What's happening, bro? So I'm going to talk about those sisters of the Order of the Eastern Star who laid the foundation for the Garden of Eden Grand Chapter, working under John G. Jones Grand Lodge of California. And I say that because in the Order of the Eastern Star, there are five points in that order. There are 5 degrees, and those degrees consist of a widow, a mother, a daughter, a friend, a sister. They complete what I would consider in looking at as womanhood. A mother, a daughter, a widow, a wife, a friend. That's complete motherhood. That's complete life of a woman. That's her whole life. And I'm going to talk about that because I would say, as a Mason, and I was initiated in the Eastern Star also. I mean, literally, I was initiated in the Eastern Star. Those who laid the foundation for this grand chapter, I had the honor of being their pupil. I learned a lot from them, and I'm just going to call out a few names, and I'm going to go into another topic. But that's my first topic is the Order of the Eastern Star. Um, Garden of Eden Grand Chapter, working up under the most wishful John G. Jones Grand Lodge, State of California, ancient, free, and accepted Masons. So I'm going to share a couple of names with you this evening, and they may not mean anything to you, but to me, they mean everything. They're the ones that really, really just was staunch about getting into the works and really getting down with it. So there are 6 ladies, maybe 7 that I'm gonna just mention their name, and one being Ursel Sims. Ursel Sims, who was originally from India. She was also a member of the Elks. Very dynamic woman. I mean, it is so much that you can say about a person who really inspired your life, who really left the footprints of sand, or the footprints in your life. Okay, they left footprints in my life, and I'm trying to find words that would actually describe who they were to me as far as me becoming the Mason I am now. And that Ursel saying her calmness in her voice. I mean, she was a person who really taught the works of the Order of the Eastern Star. I can actually say it because I saw her as a grand, and it was something about her, that her statue, how she carried herself, that really set the standards for the Garden of Eden Grand Chapter. Now I'm gonna tell you this here, and some of you probably don't even pay no attention to them sisters. There are some alpha sisters. You know how we have alpha males? There are some alpha sisters, and she wasn't necessarily an alpha sister. I mean, one that when she said what she said, that was it. She wasn't really like that, but she spoke quietly. But you didn't want to cross Sister Ursel Sims. You just didn't. She was just that type of woman. And there's another lady I want to bring to your attention. Her name was Kim Crenshaw. Now, I would consider Kim Crenshaw, who was the second worthy mate, second grand matron for the Garden of Eden Grand Chapter, Order of Eastern Star here in California. Alpha, I mean, yeah, she was an alpha female. She was just like that. I mean, she told you where to get on and where to get off. And when Sister uh, Kim Crenshaw departed this life and went on, oh, that's my Grandmaster. Yes, Grandmaster. I don't know, but you calling me while I'm on my YouTube. Oh boy, I should have you on Bluetooth right now. I ain't lying. I ain't lying. You interrupted my whole conversation. But you couldn't wait till tomorrow, huh? My grandmaster had to call me right now. You better tell me what you want to tell me, Grand, so I can get on. Okay, okay. I he does. He does. I tell you what, give me 30 minutes or so. I'm gonna call you right back. All right, thanks. Now, certain phone calls you had to take out. And that was my grandmaster. So I'm gonna get right back into this. So, uh, Kim Crenshaw, she represented that alpha female. I mean, where she told you to get off. Now, as I was saying, when she passed away, and I was over to her home after she had passed away, that woman had a Leicester look to the east. Kim Crenshaw had a Leicester look to the east. She had a Mac's jurisprudence. She had what else did she have? She had a Duncan's. Man, she had Masonic books. I was like, oh my God. Bruh, the lady was deep. Deep. And I'm going to tell you a story about Crenshaw. To run up on her, you know how a brother do. He see a sister, he want to challenge the sister. And she sent that brother away with his head hang down. I mean, straight. Like, remember, but Sister Kim Crenshaw, before she passed away, I was at her home, and we were sitting on the sofa, and she said, "Brother Hawkins, I'm not gonna make it out of this one." And I was like, "Yeah, you're gonna make it." She's like, "No, I'm not gonna make it out of this one." So she wanted to tell me. She said, "Look, watch your grandmaster." I was deputy grandmaster at the time. She said, "Watch him." I was like, "What do you mean?" She said, "Something ain't right." I was like, I think he's good, Kim. No, Brother Hawkins. She straight told me, no, you need to watch him. I didn't get that until she passed away, and I understood what she meant. And that was between me and her. I'm not gonna put the business out, but it's just the idea that she had that woman intuition about things that was taking place within the entire jurisdiction, to where she was able to whisper good counsel in my ear. And then, boy, was it good counsel. I was like, oh my goodness. So that's another Eastern Star that I can say that really inspired. And I believe that when you are a brother of the order of the when you are a brother who's Eastern Star, there should be sisters around you that inspire you to learn the work. Sister Ursula Sam, Sister Kim Crenshaw are just two. And now I'm going to talk about some more. So you had Sister Valdo Jackson, who was also an Oakland native. Man, you didn't want to run up on her. I remember at St. John's Day, you know how we are soldiers. We're going down the aisle. I mean, we rolling. This lady, Sister Valdo Jackson, I love her to death. Man, I'm rolling down there. She said, "Hey, Brother Hawk." She right on the backside of my behind. Boy, I was like, what? I mean, in front of everybody. What an embarrassing moment. But I can say that she loved me. And I watched her as she got older in life. I was able to push her through the airport in a wheelchair, going to the different conferences nationally. And it's an honor. It was indeed an honor. Good evening, Brother Vincent. It was indeed an honor to be able to be for that sister, man. Let me tell you. And then to listen to her life story. She passed away. I think she was in her 90s when she passed away. And to be able to listen to her life stories on a plane. They inspired me. I was like, wow. And there again, Sister Anna Cook. Man, Sister Anna Cook was probably about 6 feet tall. Very elegant woman, I would say, and the way she carried herself and the work she did in the Order of Eastern Star. I mean, these ladies I've just talked about really set the groundwork for the Order of the Eastern Star here in California, Garden of Eden Grand Chapter. They really laid that foundation. It's a strong foundation that they laid, and I'm proud that when I was Grand Patron, that the sisters who are there now supported me. They saw me come up through this whole entire organization. And Sister Irma Jean Smiley out of Los Angeles, California. Oh man, Irma Jean Smiley would be, I think, 91. Irma Jean Smiley goes to country concerts. Irma Jean Smiley still drives up and down the road. I think about maybe 6 years ago, or maybe a little bit longer. Me, Irma Jean Smiley, George Adams, Brother Reverend Todd, and Diane Miller drove across country in a van. And I'm like cracking up because I think I'm the youngest one in there besides Diane, and we rolling. And but brothers and sisters, that's the uniqueness of this whole organization that I'm talking about. I talk about it all the time. You know, the Order of the Eastern Star, the Freemasons, you don't have you don't have a better friendship than that. When you find that brother, that sister, who's true to the order, we all have our faults, but I'm talking about they're putting in, man, they're making it worthwhile. When you have a sister who makes it worthwhile to come to the chapter meeting, there's nothing to Los Angeles, to my chapter meetings, because I'm a patron. And I go and I have a, because I would say this, for the sisters who have their meetings, they can sometimes have 5, 6, 7, sometimes they may even have 4 people there. Yeah, because everybody's not dedicated like you think. You know, everybody who wearing the jewel is not necessarily really in it. But these sisters, they put in work, man. I'm telling you, they put in work. And you go there and you learn so much about the Order of the Eastern Star. And you come out, you be like, yeah, I'm glad I went. So I don't mind making that hour-and-a-half drive to my chapter meetings because I get something out of it. And I take my past Grand Master, Phil Bazier, with me, or he calls and reminds me to go. He said, let's go. And I often ask, I said, bro, why do you make the drive? He said, Brother Hawkins, I learned so much when I go. And Brother Phil Bazier, 71. He'll tell me, I learned so much when I go. And that inspires me as a past Grandmaster and as a sitting patron. It inspires me to go because he tells me how much he learns, and that makes me even want to learn more. You know, and then but you know, some of you sisters, you want to come out with tests in your chapter. Sister Diane Miller, she comes out with a test. Sister Carolyn Reed, they'll give you tests in their chapter. My wife, who's a matron, she'll give you a test. I don't look. Come on, guys, lighten up on me a little bit. But brothers, if you really want to know the works, and you really want to have a conversation with your sister, the Order of the Eastern Star, become an Eastern Star. I encourage you to do that. And then, when you have that conversation with them, nothing like it. What's up, Brother Maddox? We're talking about the Order of the Eastern Star tonight. Them some awesome women, man. I'm telling you. There's nothing like it. Now, for you brothers, for you Master Masons, you know, I'm talking about the Eastern Star work, but you Master Masons, see, there are supposed to be Master Masons in your lodge who are supposed to inspire you to be the better man, to be the best man you can be. Now, for me, and you know, and some of them are gone, but I'm going to call some names out because they were special names to me. These brothers inspired me to be the best Mason I can be and don't back down from no one. What's up? What's up? All right, that's what I'm saying, Brother Leo. That's what I'm saying, brother. You got to get in. So, to me, I'm just going to call out a few names. One name in particular, that really inspired me to be the best Mason I can be. It's Oscar Julian. Oscar Julian, I mean, he was never a Grand Lodge officer. Never. But when it came to the works of being a Mason and showing and being the example, nothing like it. I remember going to Grand Session with Oscar Julian, and I'm driving. He said, Brother Hawkins, you need to pull over to a store, and we're going to pick something up for your wife. It's like, why, man? We driving. I'm like, man, I ain't picking up nothing. He's like, yeah, you're going to stop. You're going to pick up something for your wife. And when you get back home, you've been gone all weekend. You ain't seen your wife all weekend. You're not going to go back empty handed. That's Brother Oscar Julian for you, right here. I'm like, man. So we rolling. And we would pull over. And he would say, you need to get this or you need to get that. But he would pick stuff out. I ain't never told my wife, but he would pick stuff out, bro. I would come back and I'm like, oh, thank you, thank you. But that's him showing me as a Mason how to be a better Mason, how to be the better man. And that inspires me. And I hope that there's somebody in your lodge that inspires you. And then there is George Adams. Oh my God, he was probably one of the greatest Knights Templars I've ever met. I mean, when I saw the Knights Templar actually open up, full Knights Templar open up. George Adams. Simple as that. George Adams. And I'll tell you that man, I'm going to tell you a story about George Adams. George Adams was invited to a Knights Templar meetings by the Caucasian Knights Templars in Los Angeles. And I have the book. The way you're speaking, you definitely going to make me. So George Adams was invited to speak at the Knights Templars in Los Angeles, California. It was a majority. No, it was all white. They was all white Knights Templars, and he was an invited guest. Yes, he was an invited guest. I have the book with his name on it, and asked him to open up. They said, brother, we understand that you are the most eminent Grand Master for the Knights Templars. Would you mind opening up? And George Adams got on up, had his cape on, had his chapeau, he got on up with his swagger. He went to open up the Knights Templars. And as he almost got completely done, they asked him to sit down. This is a true story. I have no reason to lie. And at the end of everything that was done, they sent George Adams a book with his name on it. They sent him a book with his name on it. I've seen the book. I have the book. And brother, I was amazed. I was like, wow. He's like, yeah, Brother Hawkins, I roll like that. Does your jurisdiction have communications with let me see, Detroit? No, I can't say we do, bro. I'll say that we don't, to be honest with you, as far as I know of, okay? As far as I know of, Brother Philip Boxer. But boy, did he do that thing. So that's another one. I'm going to talk about another brother that inspired me was W.E. Bowens. Brother Bowens. Brother Bowens was about 5'4". But let me tell you, he didn't have to say too much, but you knew. You knew when you didn't open up your lodge correctly. You knew when you were speaking out of line. You just knew. You looked at him. And his voice, his quiet voice really like just, All right, Brother Phillips. I took your advice too, bro. I saw what you posted. I took your advice too, Brother Phillips. So that Brother Bowens inspired me. Past Grandmaster Adams inspired me. Oscar Julian inspired me. There are just three brothers right there that I can call right off the top of my head that really laid the foundation for me as a Mason. Esau E. Baxter. Esau E. Baxter is my past most Peaceful and Sovereign Grand Commander from Boston, Massachusetts. He's past Grand Master of Ham Grand Lodge there in Boston. Some years ago, he passed away. But when I first met him, the first thing he told me to do was to start myself an archive. He sent me minutes belonging to the United Supreme Council from way back when, man. This guy, PHA. Oh, for real. That's what I'm saying. So this brother, Brother Baxter, who's a past Grand Master out of Harem Grand Lodge in Boston, who's my past Mephisto Sergeant Grand Commander, he's gone. He's transitioned on. But when I first met him, he started sending me information from when he first came in as a Mason. Now, mind you, he has served in the office of the Lieutenant Sergeant Grand Commander for our United Supreme Council, 26 years. 26 years. I think it's out of 26 or 20 years that man has position. Uh, hey, so look, I'm gonna say this, Brother Montgomery. You know, I'm reading your post. You says Leo Pickens, really, because I know some PHA brothers who don't recognize ancient, free, and accepting Masons, and who never will. Don't even sweat it, because that's not what this show is all about. That's not what we're all about right here. And those who are watching, this is all about understanding Freemasonry and what it should be. The reality is no. We don't all get along. No, we don't all respect each other. No, there are just some you just don't even want to you just wonder how they became a Mason or an Eastern Star. But this is not that show. This show is to simply say, hey, look, this is what we could be. This is what we should be. So there should be Eastern Star that should inspire you to be the best patron you should be. If you're a Mason, there should be that tells you and show you, yes, man, you look at Eastern. You want to surround yourself with sisters who want to see you be successful in your order and in your life. When you become a Mason, if you're looking to become a Mason, you want to be in a lodge that those brothers look for you. They want to help you be the best brother and a successful brother, be it in your family or whatever you want. They want to see you succeed. That's what it is to be a Mason. That's what it is to be an Eastern Star. Some people can't handle that because all they ever do is bring down the next person. So if you are a Mason, if you are an Eastern Star, and if you're not lifting up anybody in your chapter, showing them the example of how to be, then what the hell are you in it for? Period. I don't care who you are across the board. It doesn't matter. We talk about making good men better men and making women great and teaching them this and teaching them, but you can't do it if you're not willing to be the example. Look, it's lonely being a leader because they're gonna mark you, they're gonna call you all sorts of names, they're gonna do, man, it's crazy being a master, being a worthy patron. It's crazy. But let me tell you, if you're a Mason, if you're going to be an Eastern Star, and you're going to become a patron, or you're going to become a wishful master, or maybe one day a grand, or maybe one day a grand master, you're going to be in leadership. So be prepared to be the example of what leadership should look like. You know, so that's where this whole thing is at. That's why I do what I do, and I appreciate those that are around me. My grandmaster, my deputy grandmaster Eric Sutton, and Phil Bazier, and Brother Barry. He's new. Brother Barry is a Master Mason, and he's excited about it. He's excited about it. He brings the excitement out of me. That's what it should be, gentlemen. That's what it should be, ladies. You should not be sitting up late at night wondering, well, you know, sister such and such was in the chapter. Well, I can't stand her. If you can't stand her, move on, get out the chapter. If you can't stand that brother, lodge, go find another lodge and stop holding him down. And that's the thing that bugs me. So what I try to do, what I want to do, brothers, I want to inspire you. I don't care what jurisdiction you're in. I want to inspire you to shape and to form the organization into what it should be. And don't cut down a brother. Lift them up. Don't cut down a sister. Lift her up. You know, and that's where we're at. And that's what it should be, and that's how I want it to be. That's what I'm trying to make here in my jurisdiction, in the Order of the Eastern Star. So when a brother, even though I'm a past Grand Master, anyone has something of good counsel to whisper in my ear, I'm willing to listen. No doubt about it, I'm willing to listen. Ancient charges are clear. Of course ancient charges are clear. But what happened with the ancient charges is everybody make their rules up against the ancient charges. Well, I abide by these rules and you can't come here and I can't talk to you over here. Come on. Really? I told a brother today, I got a phone call. Honest truth. He's not. What's up, lady? Thank you. I got a phone call today from a brother who's not even a Mason. However, because he watches the show, I'm thankful. He called me up and asked me, he said, Brother Hawkins, I am in El Paso, Texas, and I want to be a Mason. I reached out to a brother who was a Prince Hall Mason. He done everything he's supposed to do. He got me in contact with all the right people. Brother Terrell, what's up? Oh man, I'm telling the story, bro. I gotta tell you a story. The ideal is that somebody along the way dropped the ball. And this is what happens to the membership when you have somebody who's looking to become a Mason. I don't care what jurisdiction he's in. You don't drop the ball on that person. You get that person in. You teach that brother what it is to be a Mason or an Eastern Star. You don't just drop the ball. If somebody does whatever it takes for the brother to get in contact, don't drop the ball on him. Don't do that to him. You know, it is often said that, you have to ask one to know one. But you don't want nobody begging to become an Eastern Star or begging to become a Mason. No. If a brother asks you and you do all you can to help him to get in, but somebody on the other end drops the ball, that's not your fault. However, when you see that brother again, you let him know that. You let him know that. But the ideal is that for us who are Masons, for us who take our oath and we say these things that we would and wouldn't do, we say all those things, let's try to do better in upholding our oath to the Masons, to the Eastern Star. You know, that's let me see. Heard enough to find absolutely. You know. Yes, you can learn from both sides. You absolutely can. And you can't drop the ball. The process is for us, when a brother is seeking, when a sister is seeking, that we do what we can. And we do all we can. We want to make sure that whatever I say I'm going to do for you, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. I'm not going to let you down. That's where that's at. Now, that's how I do it. And that's why I encourage others to do the same. You know, we who are Masons and Eastern Stars, even if you're not a Grand Master or Grand Patron or whatever, even if you don't hold a title, but you are a Mason, you are the example, because that person may not ever meet a junior warden, a senior warden, somebody who holds office. They may not ever meet them, but you, my brother, you, my sister, when they see you and you turning it up and you staggering, they may change their mind because they see, hey, I'm doing this. I don't need to do that. I don't need to be with them to do what they doing. But if they see you carrying yourself as a Mason, because that is your profession, as an Eastern Star, because you are a sister, a daughter, a wife, a friend, when they see you carrying yourself as such, that inspires them to be a member. That's the whole thing. That's why we do what we do. But when you tear them down. But when you out doing your thing, man, it doesn't look so good. So that's why I'm talking about those individuals who inspired me, because they planted something in me to get me to where I'm at right now. And most of them are gone, but they live on inside of me. This is why it's important for you to listen to your older and senior members. Now, we all know right from wrong now. Grown folks are gonna do what grown folks are gonna do. And I let that be where that's at. But when you have a sister or a brother who's really trying to be the example of what it is to be part of the craft, that's who you get behind. That's who you support. We have to remember, we are all one. Stood when we're that brother. Oh yeah, I got you. Boom, there you go. Stood where that brother or sister stood. Absolutely, absolutely. That's the beauty of the whole thing. We need to be able to take that and hold on to it and don't let go of it. And that's what makes it so beautiful, man. I'm telling you, that's what makes it totally awesome across the board. And you got to realize those who are in leadership, they don't know everything. They don't know everything. Those brothers, including myself, who was once a grandmaster, we don't know everything. We don't. And the ideal is we supposed to be able to listen to the craft, listen to the sisters of the order. And when you're able to listen, man, you can learn a lot. But if you're going to just talk, and not going to give the other person an opportunity to talk or express themselves, you have missed out on a world of information. Two people don't talk well at the same time. You get static, you get noise. But if you can just be quiet for a moment and listen to the person as they try to explain or try to give you some wisdom, man, it's awesome. It's awesome. And like I said before, we all know right from wrong, so let's not even trip about it. That's what makes the organization a great organization. Granted, you got those out there. Let's just keep it real. You got some brothers out there that are foul. You got some sisters out there that are foul. However, despite all of that, I would not trade it for the world to be a part of the fraternal order of Freemasons. I wouldn't trade it. And to be part of the Order of the Eastern Star, I wouldn't trade it because of those individuals who I've met in my life that have inspired me to be the best man I can be it a sister or a brother. I wouldn't trade it. What's up, brother Rob Lowe? What's up? You in the house? I wouldn't trade it, man. And that's why I love the organization. And that's why you should support your organization. Be it PHO, Prince Hall Origin, be it Modern and Free, be it Prince Hall, be it Ancient Free and Accepted. You should support, you should uphold, you should build up and not tear down your organization. If you're out to tear down your organization or individuals who are in your lodge or chapter, just leave. We all came in as rough. Absolutely. I would keep on opening my mind and I will be meeting. Oh, okay. Absolutely. You're right. We all came in as rough Ashleys. But check this out. We all came in as good men, good women. We all came in because that is one of the criteria. We take good men and make them better. We take good sisters and make them better. Or we take them to make them a whole. However you want to chop that up. Especially when you're looking at what the sisters are supposed to represent. When you see that like that, that's really what it's all about. No more, no less. The ideal is that some sisters come in, man, and they just, I don't know. And some brothers come in and they be just, I don't know. But let me tell you, the beauty of the organization, outside of the lodge, I'm not even talking about the lodge, I'm saying outside of the lodge, the beauty of the organization is when you meet and greet a sister or a brother who's true to the organization itself, without all of the hoopla. It's a beautiful thing. And I've had that opportunity to sit and talk with brothers and sisters, black and white, Filipino and Mexicans, who see masonry from a whole nother perspective. They don't see it as I'm part of this group or that group. They see it as a or as a whole, the totality of the organization. Yes, we have our meetings over here. Yes, you have your meetings over there. But outside of your meetings, brothers and sisters, is where you find truth in Freemasonry. That's where you find truth in the Order of the Eastern Star. You go to your lodge meetings for a couple of reasons. You go to your chapter meetings for a couple of reasons. But the totality of the organization, when you see Freemasonry or the Eastern Star at its back, at its peak, is outside of that. Cool. I'm not. Good luck. Oh wait. Boy, you guys are killing me tonight. You're killing me. But this is the totality of the organization. It's outside of your chapter, outside of your lodge. That's the beauty, you know, the construct of Freemasonry is outside of that. I remember recently I went and I had on my Masonic shirt. Texas has a huge airport. I was at Bush International, and you have to get on a bus or a train or something. You have to get on something, man, to go to the rental place. I mean, that thing is huge. If you ever been there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm walking around, and a police officer came up to me, and he said, "How you doing, brother?" And he said a few other words too. And I was like, "Oh, great." I said, "I'm doing great. I'm doing fine. My name is Brother Hawkins. I'm from California. Hosea Lodge number 7, Ancient Free and Accepted Mason." He said, "Hey, bro, how you doing? My name is such and such. I'm part of the Grand Lodge of Texas." I understood that. I was like, "Great." He said, "What do you need, bro?" I said, "Well, you know, I'm trying to locate where can I get my rental car." This brother, this police officer, walked me down, showed me where to catch it at, and said, "Hey, you do what you do, bro. You travel light, you talk, you know." And I was like, "Great." But that's what it is. That's just a glimpse of what masonry is. You know, no matter where you go, you're gonna find a Mason. You're gonna find an Eastern Star. Well, I take that back. No matter where you go in the United States, you're gonna find an Eastern Star. No matter where you go in the world, you're gonna find a Mason. Let me put it that way. That's just the truth. And the uniqueness is in all of that is the beauty. The uniqueness is the beauty. And I can't even, I cannot complain about it. I can't say anything about it. I can't. And for those now joining earlier, the mystic tie, absolutely the mystic tie. You can't take that away. I mean, let me tell you this here. If Freemasonry, and I've said it before, and I've said this before, if Freemasonry became illegal in the United States, you had to just take your ring off. You had just nothing on you. And Freemason was illegal. Do you think it would really matter what jurisdiction you was a part of? If the Order of the Eastern Star was illegal, Freemasonry illegal, all of that, do you think for one moment you're going to be asked in or a sister what jurisdiction she's from if this was illegal? Man, it'll be, let the truth be told, that would be the essence of Freemasonry. It really would, because you wouldn't know who was a Mason unless they understood the lingo. Period. That's okay. I think I lost the connection for a minute. But there's always something happening in Freemasonry. Always. In some countries, you're not even allowed to wear anything with the Masonic emblem on it. Think about how clandestine that is when you got to go underground, because that's done in secretive. That's the truth. It would, yes, it would. It would force us together. Absolutely. If Freemason was illegal in the United States as it is in other countries, it would force us to work together. Nobody would know who was a Mason or an Eastern Star. That shit would be on some other tip. That would be like some high-end Freemasonry stuff. I'm telling you, because as it is in the United States, you wear the jewelry, you wear all of that. But brother, in some countries, they would kill you. I'm talking about today. And then that you could take that or let it alone. That's a fact. It would be truly for those who have the eye to see and the ear to hear. Man, Brother Philip, you're on one. You're absolutely right. You're so right. But hey, what I love about the this is what makes Freemasonry different than any other fraternal order, period. I don't care what Greek fraternity you're part of. Freemasonry, when you find the right lodge, regardless of jurisdiction, when you find the right lodge, that's all I gotta say. Because it's the right lodge for you. And you're going to learn what masonry is when you're there, because that's what the right lodge does. It teaches you what Freemasonry is. You know, you become a student. That's right. You become a student of the Order of the Eastern Star. You become a student of Freemasonry. See, how many of you right now, knowing that you are a master mason, if something broke, if something just happened to break out right now, that you will be able to have a conversation with a sister who's a member of the Order of the Eastern Star? When you think about it, I'm talking about real masonry versus this thing you got the emblem on your car. I'm talking about real masonry. If it was a real secret fraternity, I'm talking about that real Gucci stuff, that stuff you don't know who's a member, that type of stuff. Now that's something to be reckoned with. You know, shame that circumstances would bring all secrets of Freemason together. That all Masons are supposed to be seeking of. Yeah, we're supposed to be. There are some of us who really seek truth, and there are just some of us who don't even care about the truth. It's called alternative facts. Alternative facts. Guess where that come from? And we lose what masonry is all about because of somebody's alternative facts, instead of looking at what masonry should be, instead of looking at what masonry is, which is a great fraternity order. Freemasonries, I don't care what nobody say. Yes, there is some craziness in Freemasonry as far as those individuals who may be Masons or Eastern Stars, but on a whole, hey man, ain't nothing like it. There's nothing like it. I would say that, and I'm gonna share this with you. Hold on, I'm gonna share something with you. So, this right here, in 2006, I went to Washington, D.C., and I was visiting. This right here was something that was given from President Bush when I was there. And man, it was an honor. Yeah, this is from the Bushman himself. It was an honor to be able to receive this. And then I'm gonna read to you what it says. It says, I send greetings to those gathering for the 2006 Supreme Session of the United Supreme Council, hosted by the Most Worshipful King David Grand Lodge, Ancient Free and Accepted Masons, and Merit Grand Chapter Order of the Eastern Star. We enjoy great liberty and prosperity in our nation. And with these blessings come a responsibility to give back to our community and fellow citizens. I'm grateful for the hard work and dedication of American arms of compassion. By helping those in need and volunteering your time, more Americans realize the promise of our country. I appreciate all those involved with the ancient, free, and accepted Masons in the Order of the Eastern Star for your good heart and your willingness to give to answer the universal call of loving your neighbor. Your efforts demonstrates the best of American spirit in spite of others to build a more and hopeful society. Laura and I send our best wishes for your memorable event. This is from Bush. I mean, former president. I mean, now he's a Republican guy, you know, but hey, to have this in my archives, man, I gotta sit up. When people see it, they be like, "Wow, Brother Hawkins." I'm like, "Yeah, you know, that's just how deep masonry is." But what happens is that a lot of us cut it short. We go and we cut it short because we don't study Freemasonry. And this is what you get. And this is what you miss out on because you don't study Freemasonry and what it should be. But I'm here to tell you, brothers and sisters, man, study Freemasonry, study the Order of the Eastern Star, find those individuals in your chapter, in your lodge, who truly represents the order as it should be. Those who truly give the example of what a Mason should be. Learn from them. And I'm gonna tell you, when you learn from them, oh man, that's off the chain. That's off the chain. You know. No, the president. Yeah, but if the president don't see any issues with the ancient freedom, Prince Hall shouldn't either. I'm just, oh, bruh. But anyway, yes. Remember, brothers, we're all building a block. We're all building blocks of a society. We are, and that's why we should set aside our differences for the common good. You know, that's what we should look at. We should set aside our differences for the common good. And when you're able to do that, man, it becomes what it should be. You know, one of the greatest fraternal orders in the world. You know? And that's what and that's what we have to look at. How can I help you to become a better Mason? How can I help you to become a better Eastern Star? And when you're able to answer that question individually, you're on the right course. You know, when you are able to answer the question for yourself, how can I help this brother to be the best Mason, this sister to be the best Eastern Star? You're on the right course. Don't look back. You don't have time to look back. Just like running a race. If you're out to win the race, you don't look behind you. You don't. You look straight ahead. You know, you look, man, because what's ahead of you, yeah, that's what you got to watch out for. Just like driving. You know, what's ever in front of you, got to look out for. What's behind you is behind you. You ain't got time. Yes, we all kneeling in prayer. Oh, for sure. You know, that's for sure. Brother Terrell, Brother Leo, I'm going to say this to both of you. The process is, in this whole thing that we talk about all the time, is friendship, morality, and brotherly love. And when we can take that and shape that, when we can take that and mold that, everything else is behind me. It's behind me. When we stop humanizing Freemasonry, so and let it get back to this spiritual science, its thing, a lot better for the craft of masonry. Isn't it about separation? No. Okay, superstition is about journey to the center. Absolutely. It is about the journey to the center. Absolutely. It is about the journey to the center. The ideal is, brother, a lot of us don't know that we are the center. A lot of us don't get it. A lot of us get initiated and we go through that process. You know, we go through that process and we don't realize that we are the center. We're the point. You know, and that's something we have to really take and consider and look at. You know, and that's the uniqueness. But along this journey, if you can do anything for anybody along this journey, you want to lift them up along in this journey. You never wait till a brother is down and out to ask her or him how they're doing. You might just want to pick up the phone call just to find out anyway. And listen. Listen to what that sister has to say. Listen to what that brother has to say. Man, we never know what someone is going through in life. And do this for me. Why don't you give that sister a hug or that brother a hug, man? Ain't nothing wrong with, hey man, what's up? You all right? Yeah, I'm good. Cool. But he may not be good. You might want to just stay and listen for a little bit and let him get all of it off his chest. Because that brother or that sister may be walking around with so much on them, man, to it just weighs them down. They don't study what's really teaching. The kingdom is within. Yeah, the kingdom is within. But a lot of people can't get that. They can't get it. You want to go to heaven? Huh? The kingdom of heaven is where? And if you could ever go there, man, but everybody ain't ready for that journey. Everyone just isn't ready for the journey that Freemasonry offers. They, and I can honestly say that because I've seen some. It some actually grow into it, and some just never make it, man. They just never get there. It's just like the Eastern Star. Some sisters never really understand what it is to be a friend, a mother, a sister, a daughter, a wife, a widow. They just don't get it. Too busy tearing up other things. Some brothers just don't know what it is to be a representative of Harem and Biff. They just don't get it. They won't, you know. So they go through this thing they call Freemasonry, not really getting it because they're not really teaching it. They're not really putting putting in the works. A lot of them talk about it, but they're not putting in no work. You got to put in work, man. If you're going to learn this thing, you got to put work in to learn it. If you're going to be about being a Mason or Eastern Star, you got to put work in. And let me tell you, when you put the work in, you'll see it. I don't care what jurisdiction you're in, you will see it. And I'm going to tell you this here. This is what separates a lot of individuals in Freemasonry. I'm not saying jurisdiction, I'm just saying individuals, because there are individuals that makes their lodge click. There are individuals that make their chapter click. And I say that you can have, I've been in a lodge where there's 30, 40 members in there, but it's 10 of them that show up at every meeting. There are 5 that show up at every meeting, and they make that organization click. Yes.
Are you recording?
Yes, I am. I'm on live right now. Okay. That's worthy matron, Sister Linda Hawkins. Oh, let me see what you had to say there, bro. Let me see. They still stuck on the physical allegories and missing the. Bro, you just knocked them out of the box. If we can just take the allegories of the stories that are the legends that are being told in regards to the 5 herons, to the story of Ham, if we can just take those things, flip it, and look at it, and allow it to teach us. Man, whoo, if we can do that, that would be an awesome thing. It really would be. But hey, they are still having that BF on. Yeah, at best, yes indeed. But I'm going to share a book with you. Hold on, I got a book I want to share. Hold on. All right, I'm sharing this book with you tonight. This book is called Divine Speech. All right, um, it's a African deep thought from the time of Pharaoh to the present. So it's an African deep thoughts from the time of Pharaoh to the present. Okay, so check this out. All right, this right here, I'm not finished with it, but what I've gathered from it Mm, it gets deep. It gets it teaches you how to read hieroglyphics. Did I pronounce that word right? I hope I did. But if I didn't, don't charge it to me. All right, don't charge it to me. You know. So it teaches you hieroglyphics. Yes, and it's a deep book. It really is. And if you could ever get into it, it's it's deep. This, yeah, and I'm not finished with it yet. And it's an African book, you know. And I would tell anybody to get that one. It was a gift. This here was a gift. This was a gift, and I couldn't tell you what brother gave it to me. I really couldn't. But it was a gift. You know what? Brother Lafayette Carroll gave me this book. This brother here is he's gone. He was the he was in my Grand Lodge. His position in my Grand Lodge was the public relations. He was our Grand Lodge public relations, and he passed away, and he left this here. He left me quite a few books, but this is just one that he left. It's funny that in your travels, those books almost seem to find you. Seek and ye shall find. I'm sure you. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I'm quite sure of that. Yeah, man, this book here breaks it all down. This book right here breaks all the hieroglyphics. It breaks them down, and that's what I like about it. And I've been in it. I haven't finished reading it, and I would imagine that the further I go into it, the more I'm going to learn myself in regards the power of the mind and tongue are in the limbs. Just reading something out of it. But yeah, it's a good book. It's a good book. So look, I'm gonna go. I appreciate for those who was able to hang on through the whole thing. I appreciate you. I thank you, and I hope that as always that you was able to get something from this. And as we move farther in life and our life journeys, man, don't forget, always pick somebody up along the way, you know? Nobody goes anywhere by themselves. Nobody gets any place by themselves. And if anybody ever tell you they did it by themselves, they lie. I don't care what they. No, you don't do nothing by yourself in this life. There's always someone who's either giving you a hand up, they'll either help you got up, they'll you. So hey, let's always keep your light on, and definitely stay out the bushes. And if I can ever be an assistance to you, email me, give me a call, man. And you know what? It's all about growth. So until I see you, until we speak, carry on and be safe. Much love. So more be.